Got my good music shirt on, and the question of today is what happened to good music? Obviously, good music, Ye's record label that he founded over 15 years ago with like Common, Consequence, John Legend, all of those OG rappers and singers. Obviously, good music is still a label. Pusha T's the president. There's still artists, rappers, singers signed to it. When I say what happened to it, the only reason I bring this up is because I did react to Big Sean's new single, What a Life, on Friday. And it was released under Finally Famous, I believe, and Def Jam, and not necessarily Good Music, which was basically his first, commercial release that wasn't under Good Music. And that was just something that stood out to me, especially being such a big Ye and Good Music fan. I love every artist in Good Music. And it really just got me reminiscing about, the good old days, as Big Sean puts it. And I saw this Instagram post via Hot New Hip Hop where Big Sean tweeted something like, man, these really were the good old days. What happened to good music? We were really clicked up. And it really, it did get me a little down, because Good Music was always my go-to record label, right? Like about a decade ago, we had these huge teams, imprints, labels of rappers and singers that you'd kind of root for, right? Like a basketball team or a sports team. I mean, right here, Good Music, Young Money, Cash Money, Maybach Music, Odd Future, Taylor Gang, and so many more. And you would just have your favorite crew and all those artists that you would just support so much. And just now, even not just Good Music, all those labels, it just doesn't seem as clicked up as it once was. I know it'll always be Good forever, Young Money forever, Maybach forever, and all that between the artists. And I know it definitely is a special bond between all those artists. You still have Dreamville and TDE, which are maybe the only two that still feel like that. Young Money, definitely a little bit too, but it's just a decade ago, it seemed so fun, kind of like the rivalries. It's like Maybach Music would put out Self-Made, and then Young Money would put out like Rise of an Empire and those Young Money albums, and Good Music put out Cruel Summer, which obviously this was just such a great album that still is on repeat for me to this day. Back to Good Music, Pusha T became the president about 6 years ago, and I don't know why they haven't been clicked up. I'm not in their shoes. However, they haven't really signed many young, fresh, game-changing artists. Like they signed Sheck Wes and Valee, two artists with a lot of potential, and I really like them. But, they release things few and far between, and Sheck Wes released Mud Boy, and, Mo Bamba was on that, and that was obviously a huge hit. But, they still have only released things few and far between on the Good Music label. Now, you still have Kids See Ghosts on the label, which who knows if we'll ever get a second Kids See Ghosts album. Francis and the Lights and Q-Tip, who have never really had a release under the label, although Francis and the Lights and Kanye do collab a lot still. Obviously, Francis was on Jail. 070 Shake, 2 releases, but then you have Pusha, Big Sean, and Ye, who are obviously like the big 3 of the label still, and who have obviously Pusha T 4 releases, Ye 5, Big Sean 6. But then if you look at the former artists, all these former artists in Good Music, and how this team really was, and tight-knit and strong and powerful this team was. I mean, you had GLC, Tony Williams, Common, Consequence, the lyricism in those right there. John Legend, the amazing voice. Malik Yusef, obviously a great writer. Kid Cudi, such a great artist to have on your roster. Everyone loves Cudi. Mr. Hudson, The Roots, Mos Def, who never had a release under the label. Desiigner never had a release under the label. Teyana Taylor was a great addition. She was the R&B singer on the label. She was amazing. I saw her in concert. Love her voice. Kacy Hill, couple releases. Holt, 1 release. And Desiigner, who had those 2 releases. But, I mean, when you think of all that, especially between John Legend, Kid Cudi, Common, Tony Williams, Teyana Taylor, I mean, those are big names. And, you know, even the poster on the inside of this, which I could definitely show you. I mean, this poster is just all time. It's one of my favorites ever. When this album came out, I mean, just look at that. I showed this on my CD collection videos, but I mean, that was a crew right there. Very powerful, and I miss it. Not to mention, you had like 2 Chainz, right? Like, he wasn't in the label, but he was around. He did so many features with the Good Music artists. Travis Scott, you know, I'm pretty sure he signed to Very Good Beats, which is their production team. I thought they had a joint signing with Travis Scott, but Travis Scott was always doing features with Kanye, and obviously he still does. Him and Kanye still seem very, very close. But, you know, Good Music was always a record label that I always wanted to be signed to. You know, growing up, the last 15 years of my life, and it makes me miss those days. And I wish there was a Cruel Winter, right? A follow-up to Cruel Summer. That would be so cool. I just wish, you know, these imprints and labels would come out with more collaboration albums and show how strong, you know, your team is. And I just think, you know, those back and forth collab albums, I just think it was all really cool, you know what I mean? And like I said, it's not just Good Music. I wish Young Money made more collab albums, Maybach music. I wish Odd Future had one. Dreamville's killing it. TDE, you know, needs to put out something juicy before Kendrick, you know, heads out. But it's really cool to see the artists clicked up and come together like that. It's just fun. It's fun. But that's my thoughts on the Big Sean tweet, Good Music label imprint thing. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you think these imprints should just keep doing what they're doing, or do you want to see more of the camaraderie and the collab albums like I do? Thank you all so much for coming. If you liked the video, hit a like and subscribe to the channel if you love talking music just as much as I do. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter at EJSpark1. And as always, you know what it is. It's peace, love. I love s'mores. EJ, out.